Hello everyone, my dear friends, programmers. Welcome to Programming Primer channel, and we keep going. The course name is um, Python GUI Apps. So we trying to apply object-oriented ideas to real life practice. The previous course was probably a little bit abstract, theoretical, object-oriented programming in Python. But now you see how to use it. And we covered in the previous lesson the simplest widget. Let me remind you, widget is a visual element a programmer plays on the screen in order to help. Of course, widgets are needed for users in order to make users interface easy, intuitive. So label it's the simplest widget because it's just a piece of text, it's just a message, and we practiced last lesson working with the labels. Our case study is color mixer. So we use this simple idea to create new colors based on three components throughout this course. We are going to just like in jazz, we are going to take very simple theme, very simple tune, and then improvise. Look at it from different point of views and using new um, techniques, but keeping the same idea, color mixer. So what we did last time, we created a color mixer with random colors, and we mm, basically used four labels to achieve our goal. One label at the top was to actually mix the colors, and three labels were to show the current components, how much red, how much green, and how much blue. Today I'm going to rethink the same app now as object-oriented application. It's a big step. You have to understand object-oriented programming. It's kind of mental discipline. It's a certain way of thinking, and I I should be honest. Should be honest. Not everybody likes OOP. Some wonderful programmers criticize object-oriented concepts. You don't have to use it. Python at least doesn't force us to use OOP, but the reality is it's everywhere now. So regardless of your attitude, there are so many object-oriented frameworks, libraries, languages. So you have to learn it well, and that's what we're doing. And as I told you, the first lesson, very common mistakes are writers or teachers, they spend a lot of time explaining OOP in details, but they don't show you how to apply OOP to real life challenges. It's not enough, again, to explain the parts of the hammer. You have to start hitting nails. You have to show if you teach, if you teach uh, how how to properly use a hammer, so you achieve your task nicely without hurting hurting your fingers. That's what we're doing. We explained what the hammer is. By hammer, I mean op. Now we're trying to hit the nails into the wall. So what I did, now I decided to combine basically. Object-oriented approach is to combine variables, functions together to come up with new meaningful units. So I decided, why don't I combine all four labels in one class? I call it form, and I hide all the application logic, or I encapsulate all my application logic into that class. Now, in my main script, all I need to do is instantiate. So my main program now is so simple, so elegant. Look at the coding now. I initialize random number generator, create window, set up title, size, and that's the whole program is hidden here actually in my form constructor. Everything going to happen. So I split my previous application into two files. Main script, what you see now, and the class. And of course, I have to connect class using import command. Okay, now the form class basically is the same logic, but don't forget, now all the labels, they are instance variables. So we using composition. Composition is essential skill. Review composition, please, one more time in my previous course. So I embed into my class form existing objects. So I have to provide for all my instance variables self prefix. That's the Python requirement. And you see in line 7, 8, I instantiated a label, but it's not just a label. It's now a part of my class. It is an instance variable. Then I generate red color, random red color, and then I instantiate another label. And again, look, it is part of my class. It's not just a label. I basically encapsulate new and new objects into my new class. The same for the green, the same for the blue. And finally, I mix the color. I create the string with number sign and 6 hexadecimals, and I change it. I change mixer label to my new color. By the way, in order to differentiate just variables and objects, I use prefixes. Look, red is just an integer variable. It's instance variable. Yes, it belongs to my class, but it's just an integer variable. But mixer is an object. So for the objects, for the widgets, I use prefixes just to make sure you understand right away it's not um, a variable of a primitive type, it's a label. So I will use this approach throughout the course. All the widgets going to have 3 letters prefixes, so we can always differentiate, let's say, primitive variables that belong to my class from objects or widgets. Okay, so that's the same code. The only difference, as you see, I split program into two files. By the way, mixed color, it's not a class member, it's just a local variable. Self is only for instance variables, but local variables are just temporary variables. They are created when you in sorry, when you enter the method, and they are disposed when you finish the method. So mixed color is just a local variable. That's why it doesn't have prefix self. Anyway, please type, run it. You can see the whole program. You can see both main script. You can see the class, which I call form. And by the way, when you instantiate form, the main window is passed to the constructor. Why? Because anything you're going to later on build requires a reference to the parent window master parameter. So you can see when I instantiate form, I pass to my constructor the address of the main window. This is important. Okay, let's run it. And here we are. You see random colors generated, mixed color is produced, and of course, if I run it again, I'm going to see something else, different colors. So we today just started to finally apply OOP concepts to real life practice, and we basically extracted from our script uh, everything related to form. We created a class, we call it form, and we used composition. So we embedded into form other objects. We don't really have yet any methods, but we do have, of course, a constructor. Constructor is mandatory because you run it whenever you instantiate an object. Thank you for watching, please. I appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. And tomorrow we are going to cover another widget, very popular widget. It is called button. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye bye.